Welcome back to Stefan Speaks. Today's a big day. We're going to take a look at how the app is actually performing. Now, only been a few days since our beta launch. It's been a very soft launch. We've let very few people know about it, and we only have a few targeted ways that we're getting people into the app. So I'm going to share what those ways are with you, and then we're going to dive in and look at what the statistics are and how the user base is growing in so far. So first question is how do we get users for the app? Now, we have a few different models. One of the models is to use advertising. So we can use ads and we could target different types of groups, okay, with different types of interests and see which one of those are most engaged with our application. And the way we're doing that is by running different cohort tests. And then we can compare how these different cohorts behave within the app. We can start to see that there's a fundamental difference between them. And then we can also see what they have in common. And the commonality is going to tell us a lot. It's going to tell us areas where we really need to improve the application itself. Now, as far as the differences, they're going to inform us on how suitable those different audiences are for our application, how much of a product market fit we have with them. Some of the metrics we're looking at is how often they're using the app, which features within the application are they using, and then we're going to start drawing relationships on how often did they come back to use those said features. The other thing we're going to look at is ways to improve the application. So for example, some features might not be getting used at all. They might not be getting used because, well, people have a limited attention span. Watching this video right now, for example, well, you're not doing anything else. And ostensibly there's a million other things you can do. And so you're giving up the million and one things for this moment in time. And you always do that, whether it's playing a video game, reading a book, spending time with a friend, you're always giving up everything for the one thing. We want to make sure that within the app itself, we have a way for people to discover things so they can decide how to allocate their time instead of only being aware of one piece of the application and not the other pieces of the application. So that's one of the things that we're going to look at. And we're going to get those insights the more as they come in. So the other way we're getting users is people that have already come to our website. I started an SEO project for Personality NFT. So we've been getting about 200 to 300 people a day. So we're taking part of our web traffic. We're generating leads from that. And then those leads get to be some of the very first people. They get to play around with the app. And then the third way is any sort of pre-existing audience that I might have that I'm sharing it with. My background is in psychology and AI. I've been doing AI apps since 2016. I have some audience in that. If you are interested in both of these things on how AI could be used in wellness, how AI could be used to improve well-being in a way that is human-driven, in a way that's ethical, and it takes the individual into account, an individually driven plan, this is the entire topic of this project. So you can follow me on Substack. Now, let's go into some of our numbers. The Personality NFT app is here on Telegram. This is the web version, of course. And in order for someone to use the app, they first have to come into this channel, and then they have to push this launch button. So overall, we've had about 400 people that have come into this channel, and about 300 have pushed this launch button. And now it's been a few days since our beta. We get some feedback in terms of how all of these people used the app itself. So let's go into that and see what that looks like. So here we are, almost 300 users. And out of these 280, we have about 20 that are high performance users. So that's roughly 10%. And then we have 11 referrals. And so one of the things that pops out between these three numbers to me is that people are not seeing the value in referring other people. And that's why they're not doing it. Now, let's dive in and see how people are actually using the app. These 22 high performance users, what are they doing within the app? And then also, what did the 282 people do? Imagine this group 282 coming into the app and using it. And this is all over like a 24-hour stretch. And here is the cohort. August 3rd, 200 people come in. And then here's our retention day 1, day 3, and it hasn't been 7 days yet, so we don't know that number. Let's look at how they use the app. The number one thing they did was they played with the orb. So let's look at the orb. This is the orb. You click on it and you get points. And then after some time, it kind of locks you out, but it could also give you other kinds of bonuses. This is the number one thing people did. in the app. That was 68 people out of the 200 that came into the app. And the second most popular thing was the missions. About 35 people did the missions and 35 people did the big 5 test. Of course, this could be the same user, right? It could be the same user that did all 3. And it could be some users that did some and not the others. Overall, one of the things that's popping out is that about a sixth of the people actually took the test. And in order for us to be able to really give value to users, what we need to do is we need more people to take the test. Our ideal is that someone comes into the app, they understand the value, they take the test, they enjoy the value from taking the test, they share it with someone, they see each other's compatibility, and then they talk to AI. That would be an ideal flow. So in a nutshell, this is what our numbers look like after the first cohort. And in the very near future, we're going to be running more of these tests with the goal of increasing this percentage and increasing this percentage and absolutely increasing the number of people that are taking the big 5 test. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Now, if you haven't, please subscribe below so you can follow us on our entire journey going from 0 to 100,000 users in just 100 days. That's our challenge. And I also created a bunch of resources in the description below. So be sure to check those out, and I will see you in the next video.